So this is a Galison puzzle called Coffee Lovers. You can see already that I'm going to be struggling a little bit for a couple reasons. One is I'm working with a lot of glare. I'm working with some bad overhead lighting on my puzzle table. And the second is that the backs of these pieces are white, and I'm working on a white table. And so there are a fair number of pieces that if you squint at the video, you can kind of see them. But as I was looking for pieces, made it much harder to see, oh, that's a piece I haven't flipped. The good thing about this puzzle is it was color blocked. And so what I was doing in my strategy here was trying to build the border first to then build the color blocks inside of the border. In retrospect, I probably should have put my cat outside. There went, a solid 2 or 3 minutes. But what I should have actually done would have been to focus on building individual blocks. So for example, you can see on the box in the bottom right-hand corner now, that center block has this large triangular coffee filter surrounded by a red background. That might have been a good thing to start with. Similarly, the French press that I've built already would have been another good thing to start with rather than doing the border first. So generally with color block puzzles, there's no benefit to doing the border first. You actually often want to do individual blocks of color first. And then once you have those blocks done, it's a lot easier to connect the border. You essentially do the border as you do the color blocks. And so you see here, I've reverted to doing the filter. Part of the border is still undone. So one of the challenges with this particular puzzle was those leaves in the bottom right. So they were a distinctive color. They were blue compared to a lot of the puzzle, but I could not see how they went together for the longest time. The other thing is that these puzzles have basically 2 piece types, which you can kind of see they have an up down, so 2 out, 2 in, and they have a sideways, 2 out, 2 in. So you can't really shape sort. And that for me, as someone who relies on shape sorting, especially when you're within an individual block of color, is really tough. And some of the most frustrating puzzles I've worked on have been Galison puzzles because I feel like I can't shape sort. Here you can see the hardest blocks are the ones that are left. You can also see that there are a few spots where there are similarly colored things that also haven't gotten done. So like, for example, this bluish top in the middle right. I'm actually surprised that I don't have a coffee cup next to this puzzle. That would have felt very on brand. And there we go. Great puzzle. I would say that doing it again, I would definitely do that middle first, then probably the coffee cup underneath it, then actually probably the beans on the top because they are fairly distinctive, rather than the way that I did do it, which was the border and then random chunks.